sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun. The feeling we chase. I'm wide awake. Take me away now. 'Cause I won't go down the same old path again now. No, I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling I've got's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy. Making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive.
Hey, buddy, there he is. Already set up.
I'm just gonna drive.
That's live right now.
Wherever we go, we're taking control. The future is ours now. The road never ends. It's me and my friends. These are the good times. And I'm feeling like I could go on forever. And I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling I've got's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy. Making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive.
No.
Leaving this place, the sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun.
All right, I'm good now.
The feeling we chase. Leaving this place, the sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun.
Hello, everybody. All right, I'm good. I couldn't sleep. Too much going on. Had to get up, and I was afraid I'd miss something. Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Hey, I know a lot of these people already. Some I don't, though. Let me see here. We'll try to make sure that everybody hears us okay. Yeah. I'm
Good
getting
evening, everybody.
everything
Seems
just a little late because of the lag in YouTube, but that's all well and good. So we'll see how it turns out.
Seems like everybody, I could play it on ours so they could hear us. So that is awesome. So one of the things, guys, like I wanted to talk about, hey, NYZ Outdoors, thanks for showing up. So on what I decided that I'm going to be doing is on Mondays and Tuesdays, we are going to be connecting everybody. So it's going to be get your channel noticed. On Wednesdays and Thursdays, we're going to be talking about Prepping and Preparing 101. And then Fridays is going to be open, and Saturdays is going to be our big live stream on either Merle's channel or my channel. So Merle, you want to throw your channel up in there so that everybody can see you?
I sure will.
Sister Sue, glad to see you. And NYZ Outdoors, like I promised, you've been in and here participating, and now you are a mod. So guys, we're going to start to show off a channel right away off the bat. And this is a good channel. You will not be disappointed. He's an awesome subscriber. And he's been a part of the YouTube family for a very long time. And I'm going to throw it up right over the top of them right now. So if you guys want to go, because I know I've got a lot of new people in here, so if you want to go check him out, I'm going to cover Merle up over here by the halfway. Oh, come on, there he goes. Guys, go check out my partner, Micro Homesteaders, and we're gonna cover him up a little bit here. There we go. Sorry, Merle. You guys won't be disappointed. He has a very good channel. Not only is he is my partner, and he did not know I was going to do this to him tonight either. It's kind of funny. But I was going to show you guys a really good channel. You can go check him out and subscribe to him. You won't be disappointed at all. He is a true sub for sub. Hey, Justin. Glad you could join us. So like we do every time, guys, we find channels for you that are going to be good quality channels. A lot of you guys already in here already have Micro Homesteader. But for my new subscribers, it's a good way to follow us around, because we do that, and we jump every other weekend, like I said, on Saturdays over to his channel. So here's a perfect opportunity for you guys to go and check him out. All right, Merle, I'm done covering you up.
Yeah, please do. And yeah, I see a lot of people that I don't know, so I'll be visiting some channels too as I go along.
Yep. So we'll get here about another 5 minutes, so you guys can get all settled in here. Like I said, we have a really good thing going on. We're going to be talking about Prepping 101, obviously because of what's going on in the world today. And because of disasters, we're going to start off at the very basics of prepping. And it's not just for crazy stuff like that. Cerebral Killer, what's up? We are going to, hey, there's Big Al. He's been in here a few times now too. So we are going to be talking from the very start of things. So if the first question that we really got to ask ourselves, are we staying or are we going? Because that changes this whole scenario all the way. So that's the first thing that you got to decide. And then we're going to go through here, and this is probably going to be a couple weeks on this series, just in how to prepare and what to build and what to use. We have some really good people in here that have been prepping for a long time. You have Locked and Loaded. You have Sybil. Very good at that subject themselves, and we will be bringing them up and talking with them also, so that you can also hear it from different avenues. There's some really good things that are going on in the world right now. I wouldn't say that they're good things, but it's at least the truth is coming out, and things are going to get really screwy here. So we got to be careful what we're doing. Merle, have you heard anything lately about the dossier and everything? I just was listening on the way home. So
I tell you, to be quite honest, there is so much going on, it's hard to know where to start. And the big thing is, you know, people that are used to, in the political world at least, people that are used to watching Q or listening, he's proved himself that he is who he really says he is. He is very close to the president. And some people about to be arrested. And there was some talk about removing the president too, in any way, shape, or form that they could get it done. So that's something we're going to have to pray for. We're going to have to pray for that president, for our president, who is trying to clean up the cesspool in D.C. So as things come to me, I'll try to put them out there. But Mark, for right now, I just watched about 3 shows on. They have got my mind in a blur.
Yeah, it's been really a crazy time, and it's going to only get worse, guys. So we really need to be careful on what we're doing and making sure that we have everything set up. So that's what this whole live stream, and like I said, this is going to be on Wednesdays and Thursdays. On Mondays and Tuesdays, it's going to be more about getting your channel noticed. But, and like I said always before, the beginning of the live stream here, we're going to show a channel that me and Merle have looked at closely, and I think that they're good channels, and I think that you would enjoy them. We'll highlight them, and then we're going to go into these different areas here. So let's go through here quick, and we're going to see everybody's at here. Who's here? Sorry. Sybil, my dear, thank you for showing up. City Girl, thanks for coming by. Bandana, thank you for coming in here. Old Camp Ranch, thanks for stopping by. NYZ Outdoors, thank you, brother, for showing up. Sister Sue Woods is in the house. Let's see else who's in here. Locked and Loaded is in here. You guys haven't checked out Justin's channel. This is another one too you can go and look at with he gives you news, prepping, and a bunch of other stuff, so go and check him out. Serial Killer, Big Al's in here. Fred, thank you for coming in. Samson family, thank you for joining us. And then guys, so let's we're gonna start this off the old and traditional way like we always do. We're gonna say a prayer to open up the live stream. So you guys, if you take a second with me. Lord, we ask that you protect our live stream tonight and make sure that we are in the being taken care of and not being attacked by the trolls that would like to come in and destroy our live stream. Lord, we pray for those that are in need. Sister Sandy Kay, as she's ill, Boneyard, as he is ill, please protect them and lay your hands on them to heal them. Lord, we ask for our brother here, Locked and Loaded, that his brother Donnie is continue to help and care for him as he's away. Lord, and watch over him and give him his blessings. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.
Okay. So where do we want to start? Like I said before, is we have to figure out if we're staying in or if we're leaving, because that's going to change your scenario dramatically. And like I said before, this is really going to be an in-detailed setup. And me and Merle talked about this this morning, and most people can't go for the 6 months. Now, they're talking about changing the currency here, and that's going to make a big difference. Homestead Reverence, thanks for joining us. When they drop this currency change, you really have to think about what's going to happen, because right at that point, are we going to be able to buy, sell, or trade? We don't know that. Are we going to be able to do the things that we do with a normal life? We don't know. So we really need to look at before this all happens, and that's what preparedness is about. And if anybody watches my live streams, watches my channels, or my videos, I say let's thrive instead of just survive. And I've talked about that many times. So that's what this is going to be about for these probably the next couple weeks on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So Merle, you want to talk about a little bit passion for hunting? Thank you for coming in here, brother. Good to see you.
Yeah, if I seem like I'm not paying attention, it's because I'm not. I'm trying to get
He's trying to stay awake.
People that I don't know. Yeah, one of the things that we're going to have to think about is I truly believe that there's going to be a change in currency, and I don't know when it's going to be. It's going to most likely be sometime between the next I don't know, I would say between the next 6 months and the next 3 years probably, but it is something that you need to give some thought to. And what would you do? if you woke up tomorrow and the currency that you now have isn't any good. Well, what I'm hearing is that it's not going to be like there's not going to be any money. They're going to change to a different type of currency. So what I'm hearing is that there's going to be what I guess a glitch, a problem in getting the currency changed over, and it's going to take somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 months to a year. So there is a good chance, especially considering the fact that most of the grocery stores, at least in my area, only have enough groceries for pretty much about 3 days. So if you're unable to get stock to the grocery stores for whatever reason, we want to be having enough stock in our homes that we can at least start with a 3 month supply. Mark and I talked about it this morning, and people used to talk about, oh, well, you need enough for a year, you need enough for 6 months or 2 years. Everybody has their own idea of what it should be, but I kind of think you need to go by if you have to go by the week, if you don't have enough cash to buy 6 months supply of extra food, buy what you can. That's the most important thing. And I don't know, I guess that's maybe a good place to start, Mark. What do you think?
Yeah, let's start at the very basics. And like everybody, that if you're reading the chat here, you've got people at City Girl. Yeah, changing the currency would be stupid, but if you got to look at the deficit that we have over $1 trillion, over trillions of dollars in just in the interest alone. This state or this country cannot keep going the way they're going, so something is going to fall. Even though everything looks like it's really good, and I'm not here to put a boo-boo on anybody or say, the economy is doing well, but remember what happened in the past. Everything goes in a circle. So when the big depression came through, everything was skyrocketed. It was at its top notch, and then all of a sudden, boom, it fell the next day. We have to think about things like that. You have Sybil in here that has a bunch of people, and she has some people that are handicapped, and she's trying to teach them how to do things, because running with a handicapped person is not going to be easy. So that's why we say the first step to what you're going to do is either you're going to hunker down and you're going to stay where you are, or you're going to run somewhere else. And we're going to talk about the hunkering down first, because I think most of us are already at that point where we're going to hunker down. And like Locked and Loaded is saying right now, 3 years. If you're just starting this, it's going to be impossible to get that 3 years, but we can go a week here, a week there, and we can slowly start to gain that up. And if something doesn't happen, like they're saying, let's say it doesn't happen for 2 or 3 years, you've already started down this road. You have that set up for you, and you have the people that are in South Carolina now. The whole area flooded, so everything that they've prepared for has been washed down a tube. That's why it depends on what your area is, and that's what we want to talk about now. So at the bare minimum, to get things started, and we're going off of no one has anything, and I know a lot of you guys in here are prepared, but let's just take for example that we don't. We want to get ourselves some water, and we want to get us some food. You don't have to go out and buy some expensive stuff. You can start saving up water. Beans and rice, good thing. Canning, great thing. Vegetables, great thing. There are them long-term storage kits. Hey, Ann, how you doing? Great to see you. She's been a part of us for a long time. I shouldn't say a long time, but she comes in here, so she's a mod. So right there, NYC says he's in the financial service. So now we can hear it from the financial side of things. You can ask him himself. So Outdoors, have you seen that? Are we doing good? Are we sitting all right? Or do you see something going to be happening here in the near future? What's your outlook on that? And these are the kind of things too. Sometime if Outdoors wants to come up here, he can actually talk about the financial side of things.
Yeah, all he really needs is a camera and a microphone, and we can bring him right on in.
Mm-hmm. So long-term food storage are one of the things that you see on the hey, Joe's info.
Hey, Angry Pirate.
Oh, my bro, look at that. He is all right, Angry. Good to see you in here. Glad you showed up. So there's a lot of new guys in here, or a lot of new guys, a lot of people that are just joining us now, guys. So go and check these guys out as we're talking. Feel free to do that. So long-term food storages. There's a couple different ones out there. There's Wise Foods. There's what's that farm one? Ostrich Farms and Augustine Farms. I'm sorry. There's the other one. There's a lot of different ones out there. There's Mountain House, which, in my opinion, I've had some mountain houses, and they're not good for me. I don't know what happened, but they took them camping, and I was not thrilled. Either was the woods. But anyway. So think about what you're going to do. Put out a budget. And, you know, if you have an Aldi's in your area, you can go get canned foods. You can do all this other stuff that can get you to that point. Fred Knight, thank you for joining us. So as we're going through this, guys, if you do have any questions or comments, you know, you guys there's specialists in this area too, so don't be afraid to pop up and say something. And if you do, put it in caps so that we can read it and catch it.
Yeah, we certainly don't know it all, and there, on an off chance, you could catch us say something that may not be just right or that you disagree with.
Mm-hmm.
And, no, if you do disagree with something, we sure want to hear it, because we're always trying to increase our knowledge base as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in my personal opinion, the first thing we want to do is try to stay alive, and the first thing to staying alive is you just have to eat. So, like Mark said, you have to decide whether or not you're going to bug in or bug out. I've chose to bug in. We're just going to stay where we are and defend the place the best we can if things should get to that point. But if you live in the city and you've decided that you need to bug out, which I would strongly suggest, because that's where there's probably going to be the most problems, you'll want to do things like figure out a route out of the city and decide where you're going to go. And you may even want to, and you should actually, practice that route.
And
walk.
Yep. And the other thing too is if you're going to actually bug out and you're going to leave and you're in the city environment, and we're not talking about anything with the outdoors or if you're in a country, but if you're in a city limits, think about putting out caches throughout your walk that you've already mapped out, you've already tested to make sure. If you can get caches so that as you go through there, you hit these caches and you can start filling up your pack, because you want to get from it when you're in the middle of town, you want to be able to get through there pretty quickly, and you don't want to be carrying all that weight. So you want to put your caches out there a little ways so that you can pick them up on the way. So Outdoors says, my opinion is the government has some terrible aspects of it. However, the government wants to keep things rolling smoothly. That is to keep money or making money. And that's exactly what we've been hearing. And that's exactly what some of the people that we've been talking to have been saying. It's like a big smoke screen to show everybody, hey, we're doing good, we're doing good. And people go out and spend money. They start, making debt again, using credit cards, using everything else like that. And then all of a sudden, boom, something happens, and here you sit. And then you're going to go, and then we're dependent on the government, and that's what we don't want to be at.
I just watched a financial guy talking about what happened back in 2008. He says that they actually printed $21 trillion to make things look better, and it's come around to the point now to where that $21 million or $21 trillion is not doing the trick. But they have other tricks that they can do. So as they begin to run out of tricks, things are eventually just going to fall down. And NYZ, do you kind of agree with that? What I just said there about, it can only last so long as they keep printing money.
And the thing is, too, he says, I think it's really smart to plan, but I don't think a person should stress too much about the end days. And you're right. What we're planning for is a 3 to 6 month window, and after that, we really have to, we'll see what happens then. But we can't predict what's going to happen. You could have an EMP, you could have a solar flare, you could have some kind of natural disaster like a hurricane, tornadoes, a massive snowstorm where we live here. Me and Locked and Loaded had to suffer through in the first, and I think it was in April, where we got 36 inches of snow dumped on us in a very short time. It made me really. Roll in Wisconsin wild edibles if you still want. What are you saying? Oh, okay. Sure thing, Locked. I'll send you an invite here. If that's the case, you have to be prepared for that shortcoming. And that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the end of the world right now. We're just talking to get you to that safe 6 month period, and that's about it right now.
Yep. That's you have to start somewhere, and that's probably as good a place to start as any. A lot of us have long-term storage and, stuff like that, but most of us did that like 7 or 8 years ago. So, but the thing that I'm looking at more than anything else is the change in the currency. I've watched enough of this stuff to know that that is going to be something that happens eventually. And like I said, it could be 2 days, 2 weeks, or 10 years. I really, nobody knows, but it will fall on its face eventually. And
so, ladies and gentlemen, you have Locked and Loaded also on here right now.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Pretty good. And yet,
just
the Joel there, yeah, paper money is just like toilet paper. Amen, brother, because at some point in time, it's not going to be worth anything. It isn't worth anything right now. So you're absolutely right. And guys,
well,
don't.
One big thing is, our currency isn't backed by anything. It's not backed by gold and silver. Like, hold on. Go ahead. Sorry.
That's exactly right.
You guys hear Locked and Loaded okay? I can't hear the sound, so I got mine shut off right now.
Just a few minutes ago, actually, I heard a guy say that our currency is worth 20% less than it was in 2009. So it's not going to get better, that's for sure.
All right, Heat Seeker, we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks, and we'll catch you when you get on the backside here. Guys, don't forget, hit the thumbs up, pound that, smash that button. It does help us out, and it tells us if we're doing a good job or not. So, okay, City Girl, you hear him? Okay, good.
Let me say something real quick. Normally, guys, if I subscribe to a channel, I go in and I watch a video, and then I subscribe and hit the bell and do a like. I do the whole 9 yards. Tonight, there are a bunch of you there that I want to be sure that I get, so I'm just getting you subscribed for now, okay?
Good job. So one of the things that was Locked is up here. He has a very good knowledge about a caches. You can go check out my video that me and him made about a barter kit. That is going to be the second stage of this, is because at some point in time, if you're going to stay home or if you're going to travel, you want to be able to barter somewhere, somehow, like that. So really, he brought a perfectly good example is, toothpaste, toilet paper, soap. That kind of stuff is going to be a great tool of necessities for bartering. And me and Merle were talking about it today. The other top two that I was thinking about was alcohol and tobacco.
Amen.
Yep.
because that's a huge morale booster as well, and it's going to be worth its weight in gold, or however you want to say it, when it comes
My guess
to.
is for the first month that those two items will be worth more than almost anything you can get, maybe even food.
Absolutely.
And you guys, if we don't catch what you're saying, I'm gonna scroll back and forth here trying to catch what's going on in the chat. This is moving pretty quick, so I'm not ignoring anybody.
I'm trying to keep up, but you're right, it is moving pretty quick.
Yeah, outdoors, yeah, booze, best barter ever, absolutely. You know, and think about it. Merle gave me a great idea because I was gonna go buy a case of vodka. He says get quarts or pints or whatever them things are. You know, because you don't want to give out your whole big bottle. You know, the other thing too that we want to talk about is if you're going to stay home and something does happen, do you have ways to charge your batteries up? I was just telling him today about I had to go find my solar power battery charger. It's because I went and bought out some rechargeable batteries, and I have to find that pack for the solar power. Those are some of the things. Hey, Danny in the Lions Den, thanks for joining us. These are the kind of things that you got to look at as what you're going to do. I know the two people that are on this panel that you see in the background here are not going to be bugging out. They're not, unless something really bad happens, they're going to be staying put. That's what we talked about in the beginning. So you have to put your stuff in place there to be able to do that. If it's communication, if it's CBs, if it is water storage, do you have fresh water or do you have to purify some water? Do you have those abilities to do that? Those are all things that are really what we're going to be talking about. And tonight is just kind of a big outlook of what we can actually think about, throw stuff out there, and then tomorrow we can talk about some things in more detail.
Lighters and batteries too, and yeah, you're right there too.
Yeah, I heard you mention before I came up, you're talking about the caches, and one thing, you know, I've got a lot of caches, but to be honest with you, I don't know where half of them are, so I got to find a better strategy when I put them in, how to, you know, map them out. Or I was thinking even maybe putting a nail in a tree and then west of that nail so many paces or whatever. But I've lost probably a good 8 caches that are full.
Yeah, a treasure map would be good.
I wasn't thinking. Let you learn as you go.
You know, the other thing too is as we're doing this, with the caches, remember if you map them out on a GPS, that's a battery. That's off a satellite. If we would lose power or something would go down like an EMP, you lost them locations. So paper maps are always going to be the best. Put it in your wallet, put it somewhere like that so that you're able to find it in a quick time frame.
Absolutely. And definitely barter caches and then medical caches as well too. And if you want to touch on the decoy food that I've talked about before, if you have the ability to, you have a certain amount of food that you are able to lose in case you did have people, marauders or whatever, that came in and they think they wipe you out. But that's food that you are able to, that you can afford to lose. And then, just say you weren't there, or, you're bugging in and you were overrun. You have food, it's like I said, decoy foods. They think they wipe you out and leave you alone. But that's for people that can't really defend themselves as well.
And Sister Sandy K has made it in here. You missed the prayer stream, my dear, but that's okay. I'm glad you're here.
Sister Sandy K.
We're happy to see you this evening. We were, as we were discussing this thing this morning, we were more or less, though, talking about things that you have to have to survive.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like Mark, too. I want to thrive rather than survive, but you got to survive first. So you need to pick those things that you can throw in a bag, bugging out, that are going to be the best foods for you, and you're going to need to either carry water, which is tough if you carry enough water, or you're going to have filters that you can. And we've talked about this before, and I know there's a bunch of you in here that already have water filters that you can use.
So Sandy's saying hi to you, Justin. Yeah, outdoors. Yeah, it's very, very good opinion there. Do not tell your people, your friends, your idea, because people are going to come. And, me and Merle have already, Justin just talked about his, what do you call that? Your decoy stash. Your decoy stash. That's the stuff that you could give to somebody else, or somebody breaks in. That's something that they're going to see right up front. That's not the good stuff. Okay, so you're absolutely right. Outdoors, don't go and say I got this. Don't go around and you see these things on TV where these doomsday preppers and stuff like that go and they talk about this stuff. That isn't really true, guys. That's just part of a show. I mean, I'm sure there's some out there that are like that, but I surely would not want to give out my location where all my food's at if something would ever happen. Just think about it that way.
And Danny makes a good point too. She says, "Keep your eyes focused on Jesus."
Amen.
And that's the next very first. I forgot to say that when we're doing this, guys. Remember that the Lord is on our side. He is bigger, he is better than any of the other people out there. So he's the one person that I want alongside of me if something happens. So you need to be true to him. You need to follow him and be in that kind of mind. I mean, the first thing that's in my pack is a Bible. It's very important to me. It's dear to my heart. And think about that kind of stuff. But you're absolutely right there.
Absolutely.
Sometimes.
Go ahead, Merle. Sorry.
I was just going to say, sometimes we get so involved with our plans that we forget about relying on the Lord for these needs as well. Go ahead, Justin.
No, that's an excellent point. That's it's huge. Your faith and the protection from our Lord. But I was going to touch back on what Mark said. I said 3 years. Yes, that's a great goal. And, for us that have been prepping for a while, but people that are just getting into it are finally waking up. The canning season's over, but I definitely urge people, if they're able to, is start researching dry canning, because beans, black-eyed beans or whatever, pinto beans, your rice, your mashed potatoes and stuff like that. Those are, foods that are going to sustain you with your protein, your, I told you I was tired, but, dry canning, instant mashed potatoes, you can dry can where they last up to 25 years. But, I would urge people that, even me, I haven't mastered the canning. When I went over to your place, Mark, and you taught us how to can and pickle, it's a process, it's not easy.
And the funny thing is, you talk about dry canning is because Merle, now that popped up. I got to get out of that. Merle just talked to me today about they have a thing for your vacuum sealer that can hook up to the quart and the pints and actually vacuum seal them.
Yeah, that's how I do my dry canning.
So I'm like, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's easy.
And that would take the whole process away, because I remember sticking it in the oven and doing that, that kind of stuff. And it's like, wow, I'm like way out of the ages on this, but we do a lot of our canning. So, but I'm going to jump over here quick, and I want to talk a little bit about what Joel says, 1 Timothy 5:8, but if any provide not for his own and specifically for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. And you're absolutely right, Joel. You need to provide for your house, but that's also, we have to provide for our family and our friends, because deep down that there's people that are going to be part of your family that are not well endowed, and they're going to come looking towards you. So we when we do our preps or we do prepare our foods, we have some set aside for them also.
And one of the things that we have to do is we have to prepare, if we can, for our family. The ones in our family that are asleep, and you try to talk to them, and they look like you're crazy. We have to try to set something aside for them as well.
And then
Yeah, they'll be the first knocking at your door.
Outdoors there says that you don't need to spend thousands right away. You know, start out small. Go to the dollar store, get some beans, get some rice, get some water, Mylar, anything like that. That you can, if you can start putting $1 a week or $5 a week or whatever. Don't start, like you said, just blowing the whole thing. Think about it. Think about what you need, and then look out. And it's kind of hard to say this, but look out into the future and say, what am I going to need at this point? That's how you want to start this. And like me and Merle were talking today, start small and then build on that and keep building on that. Justin's been doing this for a while. Merle's been doing this for a while. I've been doing this for a while. I know Sybil's been doing it for a long time. There's a lot of people in here that do prep, and they don't even really talk about it. They just kind of do their own little thing, and that's fine.
Absolutely.
Good night,
One
Sam.
thing. Go ahead.
Thanks for stopping in. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Who's leaving?
No.
Sampson Farms.
Oh, Samson's.
Simpsons Farms.
Take care, brother. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for coming in.
You know, just starting out too, like not to bring up the dry canning again, but it's a very cheap way, and it's a fast way to at least get sustainable foods, because like with cans of tuna fish that are so high in protein, and you can see the sell by date or the best use by date is like 2022 on the cans now. And studies have shown that you can go 5, 6, 7 years past that date, as long as, you know, it's the cans are sealed. You know how to check for them. But if you whip up some instant mashed potatoes with some beans and some tuna fish, I mean, that's a very sustainable meal that's going to keep you alive. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Those being able to use those jars and vacuum seal those. I was going to say that it's been a couple of years, I think, since I've done this, but I dehydrated some potatoes. I cut them really, really super thin, like something you would get in a cheesy potatoes box at the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
And I sealed those, dry sealed those with the vacuum saver, or whatever you call it. And I want to say that they lasted a little over a year, which I thought was pretty cool for being able to do it that quick, that fast. And I just thought it was kind of neat, really. There's so much you can do that way.
And Sybil right now is asking, you guys, she's got a bug out video on her channel. So please go check that out, because she does have a lot of knowledge. She's been doing this her whole life, and she has a really good channel. So guys, go please check out Sybil's Practical Living and Prepping. You'll find a lot of really good information.
I have a hunch that Sybil is a lot like my wife and I. This is just a way of life for us. We've always canned in the fall and put things up. But most usually all we thought about was we needed to make it last until next year's harvest, or if next year's not so good, maybe 2 years. But that's kind of, I guess we were preppers before prepping was a thing, I think.
Exactly. The farmers and all that, especially around here, where Mark and I are from. It was just that's how they were raised. Through generation to generation, canning food and stuff. So back when prepping was taboo and crazy, like yourself and farmers, they are basically preppers, but in a different light, and they can survive and thrive, like Mark always says.
And that's
I know
the thing of that too, Justin, is like it's when I was growing up, my grandparents, my parents, everything like that, they would all winter, just like you do with a cattle. You have to put it in a silos so that you can feed them for the winter. And it's the same concept. We're putting stuff away in the basement so that we can feed ourselves through the winter, because Merle talked about this. 3 to 5 days. Look at them guys that are in North Carolina, South Carolina and all that said, I'll wait for that generator until I need it. Well, guess what? When they needed it, they were already all gone. You don't want to put yourself in that kind of situation. Danny's talking about a bug out bag. And a bug out bag is great if you're going to be leaving. And like I said in the beginning, Danny, when you missed it, is you have to make that decision if I'm staying or if I'm leaving, because that changes everything. So if you're going to stay and you're going to get a bug out bag, what I told everybody in the chat room is you have to set them caches up on a map so that if you're in town, you're light when you're first taking off in that bug out, so that you can actually boogie through town, get through that portion, and then as you get to the outer sets of that town, you're starting to pick up your caches and starting to fill up, because at the end, you're going to be heavy, you're not going to be moving as fast, so you want to be able to get that stuff out there. If it, like Merle said, stash a bike, somewhere that you can pick that up later on, a bedroll, anything like that that you can tie to that thing and get out of there. That's the way you want to. If it's a car, stash in a car somewhere, stash in a truck somewhere. But you want to be able to light on the beginning part of it and just load up as you go through, because you're not going to want to be carrying 40 pounds from the start, especially if you got to go 2-3 miles to that whole end, because you'll never make it as fast as if you were empty and load up in sequences or in stations. You know what I mean?
Excellent point. Excellent.
I know this is going to sound silly, but you got to know where you're going to.
Try it out. Get out there and run that course. Do it in a timely manner, so that you know that it takes me 15 minutes to get from point A to point B to my first cache. If it's an hour, run it out, try it out, because if you're in town and something does happen, they're going to shut down the roads. You don't go on the main. That's the other thing I was talking to Merle. Don't go on the main roads. Find a back route. And if it's going through people's yards, fields, whatever you can, just watch out for dogs and everything else, because when your stress levels go up, everybody gets anxiety. Somebody starts running across the lawn. People start shooting. You could have a whole big problem. So test out your area that you're going to go to. Run it a few times if you're coming to and actually going to bug out.
You're right, too, and we're not going to be able to save everybody. And it's going to be tough.
That's true.
Oh, you know what, Angry Pirate? It's because I didn't pay my child support, and Justin has gave his 2 trolls over to me, and they're over here. That's how I get my, But you got to look at it this way. Hey, they had they came over, they watched what we said, they sat here long enough to give me a thumbs up, so we just got to give them a clap. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you for the thumbs down. Yeah,
watching.
Right.
I know it burns, buddy, but it doesn't bother me, because you know what? They had to take their time to come over here. So, golf clap.
Yeah.
Also, Old Camp says a big part of preparing is to be in good physical shape. Absolutely. You want to be in as good physical shape as you possibly can.
Yeah, I agree. Dang, Justin.
Do that anyway.
Yeah, I got the trolls. Like I said, I like to keep them in a pen, feed them, pet them from time to time, take them out, play, throw them against the wall.
He sent them over here, but I didn't pay the child support, so I got stuck with them, I guess, for a while.
It breaks up.
We got to set up visitation, right?
Oh, that's funny.
But like you say, getting back to the people in the inner city definitely will be the ones that are. When I was so shocked when Hurricane Florence, the first 24 hours in Williams, North Carolina. I can't remember. I did a video about it, but there was a line to a grocery store, and the wait was 2 to 2.5 hours long. People trying to get groceries and stock up right before the storm hit. And it's like, that's what prepping is all about. It's not just the end of the world. Like you said, it's for natural disasters. But if you don't have enough food in your house to last even a month, you really need to.
Take care, Big Al. Thanks for stopping in here. And Howie, thanks for joining us, guys. Food Forest. There's another guy that can show you what wild edibles and preparing and thriving is all about right there. So if you want a good channel on that kind of stuff, there's the guy that you want to go and check out. Howie from Food Forest Permaculture. All right, Justin, sorry about that.
No, that's all right.
Doesn't it, Justin? That it makes you wonder about those people. They knew the storm was coming, but they're there the very last second trying to buy something to eat.
Yeah, and even the people that eat out every night, that's their prerogative, but have some common sense and know that something could happen and just store food away. Like I said, under your bed, in the closet that you don't use. Be creative and just save it. So like I said, some people don't like to eat at home every night. They like to go out, but use some money just in case. But I just seen a comment that, if I can go back, which Danny in the Lions Den, he said, "I'll be in the inner city." There's going to be a lot of people that do actually thrive.
That's a she brother.
Oh, I am very sorry about that. Sorry. It's hard with the username sometimes, but,
Yeah, absolutely. You really got to be thinking about where you're at. And like you said, Justin, if you're going to bug out and you're going to run in the inner city, you've been in Florida. You know better than anybody what the inner city is about. So,
yeah, and I wasn't raised like you all were, so having to learn how to become a prepper, took a lot of, and I'm still learning every day, but a lot of research and a lot of help, through you too. You helped me out tremendously, and but it's a lot of common sense.
mm-hmm.
It is really a lot of common sense.
It can be fun.
There are things that you learn over time, but
so Big L says, I'll throw this out. People organize to protect their communities, and you're absolutely right, because if you can group, it's going to be the best thing. The problem that you see is trust, because trust is made over a period of time. And you're going to be going into these situations in high anxiety, high, everything. So our trust factors, we have to be able to read the behind the lines. Is that person looking out for my best interest? So now I'm going to tell you a little story that I told Merle a long time ago. When if you guys remember the first bug out and prepping came in, it was probably 5 to 6 years ago. I got into a preppers network, or preppers forum, and this,
I know this story.
This group contacted me and said, "Hey, Rolling, we want you to come out and check us out." So the first day when I was talking to them for a couple months, I was, get into these guys. I'm like, "Hey, these guys they're talking about God. This is perfect." Well, I went down there, and needless to say, they're after one thing, and that is they're after my military background, my knowledge, and these were the people that were going to just pillage and steal from everybody. It was a big farce, and there's a lot of these people that are out there. They're all over the whole U.S., and their whole goal is to come in and take.
Mm-hmm.
So you really have to be careful when you talk about going into a community, what community it is. And don't be afraid to test the waters. Use your discernment. Put it as Jesus as a filter, kind of what I'm trying to say, because is this where you want to be? Because once you make that step in there, it's really, really hard to get back out. Hey, my favorite, or I should say Merle's favorite troll is in here.
Must be Tommy.
As Tommy showed up. Hi, Tommy. I didn't get to see you Monday or Tuesday, or I guess today. I don't know what's going on. Kind of missed everything. Had to mow grass.
Well, I'll tell you one thing too. When it comes to, I'm gonna go to, like the beast system, the mark of the beast, the chip. I know you guys don't probably want to go there on this one, but just not even bringing that up. When it comes to your faith in, right from wrong, good versus evil. If you get to that stage where you're so hungry and stuff, don't step over to the dark side and try to harm somebody for food. You might as well just, if you can't make it, get right with God and find a peaceful place and lay down, because you don't want to pay for the, come judgment day if you were to harm and kill innocent people for their food. That's just my opinion, because people are going to be led to that, you know. And I'm not trying to put darkness on this conversation, but
I agree with you 100%. Big Al is getting ready to leave, and I want to try something in here before he takes off. He says a season of repeatable survival existence will produce community like-minded individuals. And what I'd like to take away from that is whether you bug in or bug out, try to find as many like-minded individuals as you can trust. Most of the time, that's going to be family members. But there is safety in numbers. So,
there's people here that are in your society. Or what I'm saying, there's probably people in this chat room right now that could live just a couple hours away. I only live 45 minutes away from Justin. That's the kind of community that you want to look at. If you have people in your area, check them out. But I'm just saying, like, Food Forest says, oh my God, Rolling. Make sure whoever you're getting close to, that they're true to your heart. Just like Justin said, don't go throw yourself into the wolves, because there are wolves in sheep's clothing out there that are willing to take whatever you have, knock you off. You are now no longer there. So now let's put some family in here. Let's put some children in here, some younger children in here, or someone that's handicapped. That takes us to a whole different era and a whole different way of thinking of things, because not only are you protecting yourself, you also got your family and your loved ones with you. So when you go to these groups, make sure that you're checking them out very well. Don't just jump in the first day. Don't jump in the first week. Make yourself a base. I remember I was reading that in the chat somewhere, that you have a base that you can set up and go to. Then you venture out and check these things out, and you make sure you come back. Don't tell anybody where you're at if you're going to bug out.
Exactly.
Yep.
And now we're going to do a little flip side of things. We're bugging in. We're staying in here. We're going to fight this out. We're going to make it through. We have the ability that we have the food in the house. We have the water. We have everything that we need at home. You are going to have people. What does it say? Outdoors doesn't ever have to be wolves. Doesn't even have to be wolves. It just be the user people who suck you dry. Yeah, exactly, Outdoor. Yeah, people just want to use you. If you're going to stay home, you have to come up with a scenario that you can protect your property. And there's people out there that say, I don't want to take a life. I'm not there to take a life, and I understand that, and we're not going to even talk about that subject, but you still need to protect your home. And you need to be able to take care of yourself. You need to be able to have fresh water. You have to also have some kind of water storage, some kind of electricity. If you're not going to have electricity, firewood, all of those natural things that you need. You already have your cover. You have your house. You already have your food because you've already put that away. So you really need to concentrate on making sure that your area is secure. Oh, and one more thing I want to talk about traveling and bugging out. Make sure that you do it and practice it in the dark, because that is the best way to move at nighttime, so it's not as seen. Because let me tell you, if you got a backpack on and it's fully loaded, you're pretty obvious, and people are going, where are you going? And you're going to get followed. So try to do things at night. Try it out. Go take a test run down what you're going to your travel plan, and do it at nighttime, because you're actually a heightened area. Your sight is heightened. Your ears are heightened. Your body is more tense. So when this actually happens, it'll become real easy to do. So try running it at night. And sorry that I'm ignoring the chat, Merle. You keeping up on that chat?
To keep track of it, but I lost my mouse.
Howie says, just keep some bugs and put it in a Campbell soup can, grubs and shower curtain, and can live at anywhere. Boards, logs, rocks, good places to find dinner. Yeah, Howie, most people are. I'll tell you what. When I tried a grub for the first time, and it was kind of like a mealworm for ice fishing. My grandpa gave it to me a long time ago when I was a kid. It wasn't too interesting. And when I went into service and I actually had to go and eat grubs and worms and find that kind of stuff, I'd rather eat the wild edibles.
But when you're starving, you'll eat just about anything.
And that's
And if you're,
huh?
I said, if you're bugging in, get you one of these.
A sleeping dog. Yeah, mine's upstairs watching Mama.
Yeah, well, he's a good watchdog, though.
Yeah,
You know.
I like my American Pit. He's an awesome dog.
Oh yeah, he lets you know when anybody's on your property. So
Yep. So now we're gonna start on a new realm here, and we're gonna go into the bugging in and staying in. So some of the books that you can get is, believe it or not, and this is kind of a rude statement to say, but the Vietnamese did us a favor. They gave us a book to teach things. And it's called Booby Traps.
amen.
There's a lot of things that you can do to stop someone to come in. You want to watch your funnel points. So what I'm saying is take a look around. Make one way in, one way out. If that's meaning you got to park a bus in your driveway to stop somebody from coming in, or putting up and cutting down trees to block accesses, whatever means necessary. When this stuff hits the fan where you got to lock yourself in there, make it difficult for somebody to come in. Solar lights are really cool because you can put them things just about anywhere. Justin's been out at my place. When they turn on, you can see things for a long way.
Yeah, and then you came over and checked out my property and showed me some funnel points too, which I've definitely been looking up different type of tripwires and stuff like that. But I've got a lot of stuff. I don't want to say too much, but I do appreciate when you did come out and showed me stuff that I didn't even think about.
What, Merle?
You got to keep in mind you're going to have roving bands of what Mark and I described as pirates this morning during our talk. And they will act exactly like pirates. They will.
Angry pirates.
The other thing that I want to talk about is the people that are going to get to your point are not going to be people that are dumb. They're not going to be people that have no idea what they're going on. You're going to already be through that because the inner city is going to take care of that themselves because you have disease, you have pestilence, you have all this other stuff that's going to happen. So the people that actually make it for the first, make it through the first 3 weeks are going to be trained. They're going to have the knowledge. They're going to be looking outside the box. Just like I described to Justin, I'm not going to go on his property for probably a week, week and a half. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to watch, see what he's doing. What is his movements? When does he walk outside the house? When does he let his dog out? Does he go anywhere? I want to know everything he does before I make my move. What time does he go to bed? What kind of pack of cigarettes he smokes? I'm going to learn everything about Justin before I move on that place. And that's the kind of people that you are preparing for. He throws up camels.
If you want to buy me some.
That's why I say the more people you got, the better off you're going to be. You're going to try to convince your family to do what you're doing and to think the way you think today, but it's just never going to work. They're not going to do it, or at least they haven't in my case. I can't. Right. If I start talking about something like this, they look at me like I've got two heads. But you just have to include them because they will show up eventually. Things when they see things bad, they're going to come to your house.
And what's
place to be. So you want all those people to actually come to your house, because the more people you've got, the better off you're going to be. Right. I mean, I would hope to have at least somewhere between 12 and 20 people.
Okay, let's go through here and let's read some of these comments on the chat because I didn't want to miss anybody because a lot of these guys have some good information here. Good night and God bless. NYC Outdoors. He's leaving. Take care, bud. We'll catch you on the next one. Fred, Ann. They're just saying goodbye here. Yeah, Food Forest, it's nice to be a long ways away. You're exactly right. And that's kind of the other thing that we're going to be talking about here later on. Sue, I think you guys would tell me to sell and get out. Well, I mean, sometimes you can and you can't. Does landscaping your yard like a rich person is attack marauders? Oh, Sybil, yeah. Don't landscape your yard like a rich person. It attracts marauders. Okay, yep, you're exactly right, Sybil. You know, if you've got a fancy front yard or anything like that, yeah, you're gonna bring people in there.
Boneyard.
Hey, brother Boneyard, how are you doing and how are you feeling? Glad you joined us.
We're glad to see you.
So, okay, yeah, guys, I'm gonna
Can I say something real quick before I forget?
Sure, go ahead.
Now, what you were talking about was a huge valid point. The ones that do make it are survivalists, and they're the ones that, that make it three weeks, a month. And then you have what Merle's saying, talking to family members that just don't want to hear it, and they're like, "Oh, it'll never happen." Look at Venezuela. Look at Venezuela 16 years ago was one of the richest, countries in South America. An economic collapse is, what I think would probably come before an EMP or something like that. But we are a young nation. A lot of people think we're invincible. And, just to be honest, I mean, I love our country, don't get me wrong, but anything can happen. So I know the frustration that Merle feels. It's like, you just want to shake him and say, wake up, this could happen. Let's be ready. Better be prepared and nothing happen than, that's just the point I want to get across.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. It's tough. It really is. And I agree with the monetary collapse. I don't have any doubt that there's going to be one, but you just can't say when. And it's but the other thing that I've been looking at lately is I'm looking to see as many as 5,000 people be arrested, and some of these are going to be some pretty classy people. Within probably a bunch of them within the next month at least. So,
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
There's going to be some chaos involved in that too. So that's another thing to try to kind of keep up on if you can.
Truth
These
theory.
midterm elections are going to make us or break us.
Good to see you, brother.
Sorry there, Mark.
That's all right. I'm just saying hi to these guys in chat. Guys, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It does help us out. I know Merle probably forgot already.
No, I took care of it right away.
All right. It does help us out tremendously, and it helps you guys out because it means you share and you like the other people that are in the stream, so it actually shows people and gives you more people to come and watch. So when you like it, people watch it on your channel, and it's part of YouTube's analytics. So it does help you out as much as it helps us out. So don't be afraid to hit that thumbs up.
And if you like what's going on in here tonight, pass the word. Tell other people that you know. And
yeah, tweet it out. Tweet it out. Tweet.
Yeah, I got a Twitter account today. Big Precious showed me how to talk me into it. So,
well, I got to get you on there then.
Yeah, I went on there because I wanted to not blow away, but Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. He was showing me their tweets, and I was like, "Oh, I got to get involved in this." So,
thanks for stopping in here, Truth. Truth just says, caught the title of the last chat, 3 months, supply. Great reminders. I'm an old woman, haha. You know what, Truth? It's all about start small, work your way up. And that's what we're trying to get to. Guys, I really understand that some of us don't have hundreds to throw out there. Some of us don't have $50 to throw out there. But we can start small and work our way up because you don't know when this could happen. It could be 5 years down the road. It could be 2 months down the road. But at least you have something. And that's what I want to get you guys thinking on, is start out small if it's a 2-week supply and work up from there. But, hit your basics, your water, your toilet paper, your soap, your food storage. If you're going to make your own, like I was talking to Merle today, when I figured it out, when I did my dehydrated foods and I put them in the Mylar bags and I bought the equipment and everything else, yeah, it's pennies on a dollar to make that, but the process to get everything involved in there is kind of pricey. So you have to look at that. Look at your avenues. There's different things that you could do. There's a lot of different foods. Justin got me going on a canned food thing because at first I'm like, I refuse to buy canned foods because I know they're bad for you. MREs, guys, they're high in protein, but I can tell you what, if you're gonna get them, eat the gum.
Yeah, block you right up. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that the gum is actually a laxative.
Yeah.
But, Mark, you tell them that, you make your own MREs and
Yep, they do.
And a whole lot better than what you would get. And I would say
And actually,
tenth of the cost.
I'm gonna put you guys in a full screen, and I'm gonna go run and get that container, and I'll be right back. So
Yeah, that's a great idea. Are we still here, Merle?
Yeah, we're still here. I was just reading the chat.
Yeah, I'm having problems seeing it on my tablet here. Yeah, you said pirates. I said, I wonder if they're angry pirates. I see angry pirates still in here.
No kidding. Now, he and I were just discussing Twitter. I don't think either one of us likes it too well, but it has its uses. It really does.
Well, I just want to go on there and bash Pelosi and Chuck Schumer.
I sure can't blame you for that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's unbelievable. And another thing, too, talking about things to stock up on, and I'm still a firm believer. And, I don't like antibiotics, but, the fish antibiotics and stuff like that are, it's another good lifesaver or a bartering, tool. Get them while you can because, I've noticed a lot of companies that were selling fish antibiotics online they're getting shut down left and right. So get it while the getting's good. Mm-hmm.
Used to be able to buy that stuff at Tractor Supply, and I don't know if they outlawed it at selling it at retail like that or what the deal was, but you can't get it there anymore, so I'm told.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so many things that would be good for you to have. A guy really needs to make a list and then go through them.
Absolutely.
Oh, I grabbed the wrong one. I went to go pick it up and it weighed like 50 pounds. It was all MREs.
But whatever extra money you got, you can buy some Vienna sausages or a can of tuna fish, or there's just a ton of stuff you can buy in the grocery store.
All right, guys. So this is what Justin's talking about.
You can't.
So this big, huge container here is actually full of the stuff that I made.
We can't see you, Mark.
What do you mean you can't see me?
I can't.
Oh, it'll pop up there. There it is. So this here is just jalapenos. Now, why would I pack just jalapenos? It's a pepper flavor. Some people like things. It's good on eggs. Some of these things over here. This one here is onion, squash, tomatoes, green peppers, green beans, chives, leeks, and basil. The reason why I built this one is for soups. Good soup starter. Mm-hmm. And so we made all these, and these are all Mylar and the sealer and stuff. This is green beans, onions, and peppers for stew pot. So we have a lot of just these ones for stews. We have ground cinnamon, and this you can get at the dollar store for $1. So you know the benefits of cinnamon. Here's another one, cinnamon. Garlic powder. So these are the things that give you ideas, because if you got a dehydrator, you get Mylar packs, you can make all your own stuff. And it's really simple, really easy to do. Right here, let's look at this one here, Justin. Gourmet burger from Weber. So somebody, just think what I could do with a barter stuff with some of this stuff. And it's super light. This don't weigh nothing.
Yeah, stuff, no doubt. If you
And the
to do that, definitely want to.
those oxygen absorbers too for your Marlar. Marlar, blah, never mind. You know what I'm
Mylar.
talking about. Marlar, or I'm tired. But the oxygen absorbers I get off of eBay. I mean, they're super cheap. You can get a ton of them. But I just want to show off. I got a whole bunch of these canned pickle or jarred pickles and pickled jalapenos that I got from a good friend that taught me how to do that.
Them look good. Yeah, try them out.
Yeah, you should try them out. I have to show you sometime. Jackson's been eating them like crazy. They're trying to hide them from him.
Yeah, Elon makes a good point. You should put a date on that stuff when you make it.
You should
Oh
what?
yeah, I did date all of them.
Date everything.
Yep.
I forgot to say that, but guys, if you look on here, this one was made 6/24 or 14. So there is dates on everything. It tells you the ingredients. Some of our packages have the actual cooking instructions on them because, long story short, I bought out a Amish store that had a bunch of dry goods in it, and that's how I made a lot of my stuff.
That's what I actually do with the. May sound silly, but the all the instant mashed potatoes that I dry can because I watched a video on it. Like I said, they claim it can last up to 20 years, but in the boxes, I just cut the instructions on how many scoops or whatever. Throw that away. I don't know.
It's a very good idea. Merle was actually talking to me about that today, about making your own mashed potatoes, rice. But remember, guys, there's wild edibles that you can do this with too, and we're going to get into this more throughout this series. We'll have the guys up here that talk about it. We're going to talk about the right kind of weapons to have if you need weapons, the right kind of knives to have, give you some ideas that way. We're going to have discussions on that. We're going to have discussions on, just some wild edibles and some of the foods that you can get off the land. Justin can tell you a story how quick it's easy to learn when you have somebody alongside of you and showing you something. And just by walking around your property, Justin will tell you a story how quick you can pick something up.
Oh yeah, just walking through your the one field that I didn't think anything was there, and seemed like every foot you're like, oh, you can eat that. Oh, that's good. That's good for you. The wild spinach. You got the wild oats to make bread. You've got the flour off of the clovers. Or the just I don't know. It was mind blowing.
Yep, you're right with the clovers.
Those were good. I just
For what it's worth, we're going to take this conversation. I may not be able to stay up this late every night, but we're going to take this conversation at least through our Saturday night regular chat too.
There's a lot involved in this, and we're just throwing out a lot of information because there's so much involved into what can go on for prepping, but at the same time there's a lot of information out there that ain't so good. And that's what I want to get you guys to think about, is where you want to go on things. And we're going to be talking, and we're going to have people up here that have been doing this for a long time and have a lot of great knowledge in that. I will get Sybil up here again because she is another one that has been doing this since she's been a child. That's the kind of people that you want to get to know, as your ancestors, the elders, knew a lot of things that happened back in the day.
Yeah, Boneyard just made a great point, and you are, you talk about garlic a lot too, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
But he says garlic, ginger, turmeric, onion, all blood builders and great detox of heavy metals in the blood.
And actually, and for us, Justin, it's really hard to go through and grow turmeric and ginger. But remember, walking through my greenhouse, what did I show you? Turmeric and ginger.
Mm-hmm.
We have those plants here. And that's the other thing, guys. If you're in a warm environment, you can grow them year-round. They'll do wonderful. With us being in the cold, I got to pull them into the house here shortly. And already, I'll show you what my turmeric plant. It's huge. But they are a great thing to have, and they will always continuously. Once they're started, you got them as long as you take care of them.
And
that's awesome.
you say you didn't, Google didn't send you any notifications at all. Mark actually put out a, well, I don't know, what do you call that thing, Mark?
A reminder.
That reminder from YouTube itself that should have been, man, that should have been right on.
This is why, guys, I've been really stressing about Twitter, because I sent it out on Twitter also. So if you guys have Twitter, go check out. All you gotta do is type in Rolling Homestead on Twitter. I'm there. I'll actually put my link in the chat here for you guys to see. This is what YouTube does, because they do not want us talking about this stuff. So they're going to try whatever means necessary to stop things from happening. Where did my, there it is.
They call it shadow banning.
Here you guys go. Here's my Twitter account. Right there. If you guys have Twitter, and if you don't have Twitter and you have YouTube channel and you're doing live streams, I'd really highly recommend you getting Twitter, because it's a great way to post it out. Who said that they didn't? Hey, Michelle NC, thanks for joining us. I got to go back through here because there's a bunch of questions that were on here. Country Girl, Mark, what good books can I get about wild edibles? All right, so there's 2 good books that I really enjoy, and obviously because of my green screen, it's messing everything up. But they're Peterson's Hand Guide. This is the wild edibles. This one is the medicinal, and you can find these on Google. You can find these on Barnes and Noble. These 2 books are great books because they actually have map areas for your area, and you have a very good point there, City Girl. Know your edibles in your area. That's one of the best things I can tell you, because you can, if Howie's still in here, he'll tell you you can totally survive just off edibles that are on the land. And there's a story behind that I want to talk about too. Is, you know, the story about Moses taking the Israelites out of Egypt, out of captivity. Manna came from the ground, birds came from the ground, or from the sky. I'm sorry, it all fell from the sky. There's a reason for that, but we have the abilities because God put things on this earth for us to eat. That's knowledge, and when he talks about it constantly about being wise and wise counsel, wisdom, read the Bible. He talks about edibles in the Bible. So get to learn your edibles. It's really, really important.
You know, when you talked about bartering booze, that's one thing I was really interested in learning. I've heard you all talk about dandelion wine. You know, with the dandelions around here next season or whatever. I want to learn how. You know, not for me, but you know.
I just picked up a book. It's called Drink the Harvest, and it has dandelion wine in it.
Oh, sweet. I want to learn.
That dandelion wine, I'm told by Mark actually this morning, has medicinal properties as well. So,
you know, you
have tincture, don't tincture. Bleh.
Tincture.
I can't talk to them.
Yes.
Tincture.
Dandelion tincture is not only a detox. You guys, you got to remember too is that a lot of the edibles and medicinal, you can make a tincture out of it. Garlic tincture is really good. Now, this is only for those people that are going to be staying home. This I wouldn't recommend. If you're going to take it out, get yourself a set of those vials that you can have this in there. But if you're staying at home, learn how to make tinctures, because you can do the medicinal things like barberry root is one of the strongest antibiotics known to man. Plants change every year, so their properties change. Your body doesn't get used to it, so it absorbs it instantly. And the reason why you want to store alcohol is because in order for you to make a tincture, you need that alcohol.
Same with the chaga, right?
Same with chaga, yep. Rolling, can you list your books on Twitter? Absolutely, Sandy, I will. Not a problem.
yeah, and I just saw up there someplace, somebody said that it talks about edibles in the Bible. He also talks about medicines in the Bible, yeah.
Yes, Sue saying her misspelling is bad tonight.
What I was going to say was, yeah, if you're bugging out, make room, make room in that bug out bag for the Bible.
That should be the first thing you put in that bug out bag.
That's right.
You know, guys, usually I shut my stream down at 12 o'clock. I'm going to let it roll a little bit longer tonight just because this is such an important subject, especially with our time that we're talking. So I'll probably go as long as these guys are willing to stay up here. If they're going to stay up here till 12:30, which is another half an hour, we'll go that route. But we will be continuously talking about this. I'll try to get Justin back up here, like I said, maybe tomorrow night when we can talk. Or if he can't come up here, we'll pull Sybil up here. Because this is really important now that we talk about all this stuff, because there's some people in here in this chat room tonight, there's people on this panel tonight, and we all care about each other. We got to remember this. This is a this is a family. Justin talks about it on his channels all the time. We're a family. We need to look out for each other. And everybody in this room that has that wrench. James O'Brien, thanks for stopping in, buddy. Glad to see you. You have to be able to take care of yourself. You have to be able to protect yourself. You have to be able to survive. And why not thrive instead of just survive? Because if you survive, it's just boring. You're just barely making it. But if you're thriving, you're at peace. And God always says, we are at peace. That's what He says. Through Him, we are at peace. Just remember that.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, to thrive. Sorry, Merle, but even simple little things, if you're bugging in, stock up on board games because, to kill time or whatnot. If you have family, if we don't have electric or whatever and you don't have solar panels, just small, simple little things. Morale boosters are what's going to keep you alive as well. Did I lose y'all?
No, I'm got a radio signal of some kind that I'm hearing in my head.
That's NSA.
Yeah, they're messing with you.
I was going to say, we probably have jumped around an awful lot. We've given some of you people, we've given you more information than you could possibly remember. So I would suggest that taking a few notes, and then when you get to the point where you want to decide what you're going to do, having a written down plan is probably not such a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, remember to hit that thumbs up, pound that thumbs up.
I want to make a point too, Mark, when you said, we're a family here, and you have a lot of people that say, well, you're crazy putting out all your information. We're not putting out exactly all our information, but we're giving out tips, and ideas for people that want to be the gray man or that want to lay low. But we're doing God's work by trying to help others. What I'm saying? We're putting ourselves out there, but we're doing it for the goodness of our heart.
Exactly.
Teachers, and I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to, put my life on the line to help save others.
Good night, Tommy. Thank you for joining us. I know the white coats are looking for you. Merle, your troll is leaving.
I don't see him in the chat. What?
Yep.
What name is he using? Oh, all right.
Even Baptist Church.
Yeah. I might have to get after you for that.
He's hiding. Yeah,
He's hiding in plain sight.
Yep.
Take care, buddy.
There's Justin touched on a very important point. I would rather see you guys safe and thriving than worry about somebody coming up to me and trying to take stuff. Because trust me, I'm not playing all my cards either.
Right.
So there's things here that being ex-military that I can do that most people can't do. Most people aren't. You can ask Justin, you can ask Merle. I think way outside the box on a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that we were looking at is how can we take care of our family and our friends and our loved ones. And you guys fall in that category. So we're not worried about things right now. All I worry about is that if something does happen, you guys are taken care of. So if this YouTube channel is shut down tomorrow, if the internet is shut down tomorrow, I have a peace of mind saying that, hey, the guys that I talk to on YouTube, my family on YouTube is taken care of. That's what I'm
Amen.
looking for.
Yep.
Well
That's
said.
exactly what we're all about.
Where Sue wants to know, what zone does barberry plant grow? Barberry root is grown. It's actually a plant that's from China. It was brought over here. The government is telling everybody, if you see it, pull it out. It grows anywhere. It's actually, if you guys really want to know something, it's called Mountain Rose Herbs. You can go there. It's very cheap. It's a great place. If you don't know your wild edibles, you can pick them there. It'll show you what they're good for. I will be throwing a brief shot of their website up here later on when we talk about the wild edibles. It's a great place to go check out, and you're able to get the things that you need, and it shows you what the benefits are and everything like that in the doses. So that's Mountain Rose Herbs.
Yeah, big pharma and the government doesn't want you to. So they're saying to pull it out and get rid of it.
Yep. It's
Are
called
they saying that it's an invasive species or something?
exactly.
Yeah. Good old government.
Yeah, guys, don't be ashamed to hit that. Like I said before, hit that like button, and you're gonna hear me say that a lot because it not only helps us, but it does help you guys out tremendously because it shows on your likes that people watch your channel, so everybody is seeing that's in this chat. These are the chats are shown later on, so if you did not catch somebody in the chat, you can come back and check later on, obviously. Justin, can you throw up your channel to make sure that you're in there? Merle, make sure you throw yours up there because I know I've got a lot of subscribers that you guys aren't used to seeing. iHerb, and then Homestead Remembrance says iHerb has a lot of pre-made tinctures, and that's awesome. But you can make your own tinctures for penny on a dollar. It's really cheap. They're easy to do, and all it involves is that herb and alcohol. It has to be over 100 proof, and it's all about time.
Yeah.
Well, one question I got to ask you too, Mark, since we talked about dandelions. I know the season's coming to start harvesting the roots for the dandelion coffee and stuff. When's the best time?
We want the first frost.
The first frost? Okay.
That's when
the way it feels right now, it won't be long.
It won't be long. Friends of mine that are in Canada just said that they got 6 inches of snow. So
yeah, Boneyard was telling me this snowing.
What happened to summer?
that's the things that, and the Farmer's Almanac is saying that we're going to have a very, very rough winter. We have my buddy Samuel in Canada. He's been talking to his elders, saying we're going to have a very, very rough winter. There are some people out there saying that there's some spider that makes webs in trees that they've seen a lot is a design of we're going to have a hard winter. The Canadian geese are already leaving. I mean, I just had 1,000 on the back field back here today. Them are the signs that this is coming. And there is something here, while we still got a little bit of time and I got Merle in here, I want him to talk about the solar, what is that, solar minimum, Merle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the last time that it came around, when it was, let me start this over. The solar minimum comes around in different cycles. And, man, I'm having something is interfering with my earbuds.
Mike, great to see you.
But what it amounts to is the sun is
Justin Novice, Pastor Mike said, hello, bro. So, guys, we're gonna continuously run this, and we're gonna be running this for a while. Call him on his phone. No sound here. We can't hear Merle. All of a sudden we lost audio. You're in Zoom, though. That's Merle, start talking. All right, I put my headphones in, so maybe that's the problem.
I will.
There,
I'll jump out. Yep.
No,
Jump back.
No, Merle, I can hear you now. It's just because I had my headphones in.
Oh, okay.
All right, so it should be better now. Nope, Fred, I just put my headphones in because Merle was hearing stuff. So I pulled my headphones off, and now we're going back through the normal. All right, I put my headphones in, so maybe we're all good. I only can hear Mark.
I will. I'll jump out. Yep.
No,
Jump back.
No, Merle, I can hear you now. It's just because I. All right, guys, we should be. Yep, we're back to normal.
All right, we got everybody's got audio. Okay.
Okay.
See, them headphones, I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, but if I run them through the speakers, everything works great. If I put them headphones on, it just screws everything up.
Yeah, throw them away.
But guys, I want to thank everybody for coming. We usually don't push past 12 o'clock, especially on this one, because I know everybody's got stuff going on. It's somebody late, so I will push it till 12:30. So if you want to do that, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Give me a 1. If not, we will continue this tomorrow night. So let me know what you guys want to do in the chat. If you guys want to go a little bit longer, always Locked and Loaded's got the 11111 all the way across the board.
My favorite subject.
Yeah, everybody likes prepping.
Oh, it's so very important.
Okay, so they the last thing that they heard was you talking about the sun changing. Sun changes, Merle. We got Country Girl Heart wants to one, so I guess they want to hear more.
They are not hearing me, Mark. So
what? That's because you weren't talking.
Well, I just heard somebody say that they didn't hear it the last time I tried to talk. So you guys let me know if you're hearing me, and if you're not, why?
Talking about the sun changing. Sun changes, Merle. We got
Solar
Country Girl Heart wants to one, so I guess they want to hear more.
They are not hearing me, Mark. So
I'm hearing you, Merle. I'm watching it on a live stream, so you're good. Yep. Country Girl says they hear you, so you're good to go.
All right. now what am I going to say?
Well, the changes of the sun was the last thing they heard from you.
Yeah, the sun is going through what's called a solar minimum. And it's natural. It goes through different cycles. There's an 11-year cycle, and I think a 90-year cycle, and a 150-year cycle. That 150-year cycle is the one to watch because it's probably didn't hear me a while ago. I said about 150 years ago there was a summer that didn't get above freezing. So, that's just another reason that you need to have all the food that you can, because that way you're prepared for no matter what. And but that's just one more thing to keep an eye on. So there are multiple reasons why we should be prepared for anything.
And not only that, too, guys, there is a bunch of with them solar flares that popping off of the sun, you got to remember that the ozone that they're protecting, they have novices in the chat room right now. He was talking about this on his stream before he got booted off, so I gotta have to get him back up on here. They've got a sun blocker out there right now. Supposedly they're saying that this thing is there to help us. That's why you're seeing it is an amplifier, guys. It is. I actually had Justin out here with me. We were cooking on the grill, and he can testify this. It was actually cooking my peppers on the picnic table.
Yeah, the jalapenos cooked them in like 45 minutes.
It's crazy. So that is telling you. I mean, they're trying to scorch our food. They're trying to scorch us. I was getting sunburnt through a t-shirt. That's how crazy this is. That sun is actually getting hotter and hotter. Now, scientists are saying that the sun is actually falling apart. It's burning itself out. It's throwing these solar flares out. Think about this. If you're doing a prep, if you're doing something like this, these are the things that you want to learn about. Because for me, I'm really worried because I built a sustainable living. All my stuff is in my land. If I have solar problems, if I have a sun that's burning everything up, there goes all my food. So I have to really make sure of what I'm doing and what I'm putting away is stuff that I'm going to need.
Yeah, a lot of us noticed it in our gardens too. When the sun came out, it would just burn stuff really bad. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on. And it seems to go to extremes. It's going to be extremely cold or extremely hot. But in the end, it's going to be cold.
Yeah, Truth, we're going to get some stuff together. She said that we can get a playlist of sorts of good 101 vids out there that folks could scan through, you know, with under their comments. And that's right. There's, you know, Locked and Loaded has some really good videos out there of long-term food storage and stuff like that. If you go check my really early videos, it is all about bushcraft. It's all about surviving out in the woods. I don't tell too many people that. They just see my new stuff, and they think it's all homesteading. But my original channel was bushcraft and wild edibles. So
yeah, you got all that in your playlist.
Yep, I got that. It's all in my playlist. So if you guys go and want to watch some videos on how to make shelters, how to make the super shelter, I've got a video out there that shows that I'm out camping in the middle of winter, and my shelter's at 90 degrees, and I'm sleeping on top of my sleeping bag. That stuff is the knives, the saws, everything that I've used. Everything is by hand. I never did anything with chainsaws or anything. I got the silky saws. All that stuff is in my older playlist. So just go and check that out. Yeah, Country Girl, go check him out. He's got some good stuff out there.
I think they're saying they can't hear me again, so I'm going to go ahead and jump out. It's time for me to go hit the sack anyway. So,
thank you, brother.
I really enjoyed being here this evening, and I mean, it's stuff that I like to talk about, and you know, if I helped one person, I think it was all worth it. So,
thanks for.
It was great seeing you, Merle. I haven't seen you in a while.
And we will try to make it tomorrow, but no promises. Take care, guys, and until the next time.
God bless, buddy.
God bless. Stay safe.
All right, guys, so we'll go for about probably another 15 minutes here. We'll go till 12:30, and then we're going to shut her down. But, yeah, if you go and check out the older videos that I have, and you're going to find out that there's a lot of stuff in there with bushcraft and stuff like that, so you will see all that stuff. And you'll see how to make the lean-tos and how to make the cabins. And that's all in there, so you guys can see that, how to make the fires, everything, how to light fires in wet environments, because you got to really, really think about that kind of stuff, especially if you're going to be bugging out and running.
Definitely tell them about the Fatwood video.
Yep, there's a substance out there that's called Fatwood. If you guys have not checked out Fatwood, I do have a video on that. The stuff is amazing. You can light it anywhere, and it burns hot, and it'll light your fire in a heartbeat.
It's way better than that the magnesium.
Yep, and what I'm trying to, like I showed Justin, is it's natural. It's on. You can find it once you know what you're looking for. It's easy to find, and you can use it anywhere, and it's throughout the U.S. So check out Fatwood. It's really good.
Yeah, I was definitely blown away by it. Just a small amount too, and like you said, how long it burns and how hot it burns. The stuff was awesome.
That kind of blows my mind how Merle lost audio. That's weird.
Yeah, I know, and he was hearing other feedback from. Definitely blown away by it. I just lost audio myself, I think.
Shouldn't have.
It just says I got 20% battery in my phone.
Oh. Well, we're going to... It's about quarter after here, too, so we will continue this, guys, and we'll be talking with Justin, and we'll be talking with Sybil. Boneyard says, let's just run through these comments quick here, and what's going on in the chat. We'll be probably going to be shutting her down at about 20 after. Some of us...
Real quick. You were talking... now, cattails, real good, tender, and then birchwood bark.
White birch, or it's called paper birch. In some areas, it's called silver birch.
Because I was messing with one of the trees yesterday, and it was just paper thin. And I was like, "Wow, maybe that was what you're talking about."
Yep, them are really good tinders. That's the other thing too. If you guys are bugging out, guys, make sure you pick up some tinder on the way through. So I'm going to roll through this chat because I want to make sure that I catch everybody. And City Girl, thank you for coming in. Mike, thanks for joining us. Sister Sue, thank you. Boneyard, absolutely, brother. I appreciate you stopping in here. That Loaded Bear is in here. I just made him a moderator. You guys got to watch out for him.
Yeah, I just ran him off. Novice code searcher, absolutely. He said, "Loaded, can I add one of your videos to my personal web page to try to get you more people?" I'd be honored. Thank you. All right, go ahead, Mark. Sorry about that.
Homestead Rimmer says, Mark, when you put your headphones on, I think a message popped up and said audio changed on your or something. It did. You know, sometimes what we do is if I'm running my system through my speakers and Merle hasn't figured out how I can do that yet because there's no backlash, and sometimes he's getting reverb out of his ears. And so I figured by putting the headset on, he would get rid of that, and it just screwed everything up because then my system automatically picks up everything through my headphones, which ain't allowing you guys and these guys to hear each other. That's what happened. So Fred, thanks for coming in here. You guys, you see what happened here? Look at the comments and look at the information that we got out tonight in a short period of time. So guys, tweet this out. We're going to be doing this every Wednesday and Thursday nights. We're going to be just talking about prepping, homesteading, how to prepare. Mondays and Tuesdays, we're going to be talking about growing your channel. We're going to have channels up here, and I'm going to bring people in. We're talking about, I actually got the okay from Pusa. We are going to start to do some on Mondays and Tuesdays to grow the network, and I'm talking about the homesteading network and going out farther, but I'm looking for quality channels where they're going to be true subs. I'm not going anywhere for a bus to bus. I'm not doing any of that kind of stuff. I'm looking for quality channels. So we're doing that during the week. I've got Merle looking, I'm looking, and I showed you guys a few channels that you can go and check out. Remember, go check out Canadian Drone Network is a very good channel to go check out. They are true subscribers. They will be there for life. You got Val, she's part of that, another great channel, and they're also talking about you guys as they're talking amongst each other, so it's a really good thing. We're going to be doing that again, like I said, on Mondays and Tuesdays. Wednesdays and Thursdays is prepping. Friday, Justin has his live stream on his channel, and Saturday is our big live stream on either it's going to be on Merle's channel or my channel, and then Sunday night we're going to start over. We start at 10:30 at night, and we're going to continue this on. I'm going to be going probably 5 days a week for live streaming, You guys can
Busy,
count on
busy.
that. Huh?
Said you're gonna be busy.
I'm going to be busy.
Well,
And
it's
then-
time because time's running short.
And then in the wintertime here, we're going to be actually flipping, flopping back and forth. We might do some streams in the morning talking about OBS and how to build your live streams. So Justin, you can stay on there, guys. Thank you very much all for joining us. And like always, God bless, be safe, and take care of each other. Thank you so much for joining us and being a part of our stream. And we'll see you tomorrow night.
Oh, Sunday or Friday, 7:30 Central Time. Somebody asked what time my live streams are. They're not high tech like like Mark's.
Guys, go check him out. Like I said, Locked and Loaded, 100%. You can find him in my friends list right on the right side of my YouTube channel, or you can just type it into Google. Guys, take care. Be safe.
God bless.
And God bless.
Leaving this place, the sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun. The feeling we chase. I'm wide awake. Take me away now. 'Cause I won't go down the same old path again now. No, I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling I've got's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy. Making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. Wherever we go, we're taking control. The future is ours now. The road never ends. It's me and my friends. These are the good times. And I'm feeling like I could go on forever. And I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling I've got's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy. Making me crazy.